Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be dissertating and talking about having a fixed T-square configuration or aspect pattern in a natal chart. Now, a fixed T-square configuration, it's going to consist of 3 planets totally, or energies, because I include the MC or ascendant, the nodes, one of the nodes, not both, of course, and Chiron as well. Now, if you have 2 of these, you have 2 energies that are opposing one another in opposition aspect, and you have a 3rd planet or energy that is squaring both those points in the opposition. Now, the opposition is where you have the conflict, and then you have the what could be the overemphasis, over-accentuation, overcompensation, which is associated with that midpoint, that point that is squaring both those other points in the opposition. And I'll show you visually more what I'm talking about momentarily. Now, in a fixed T-square configuration, on the positive side, the person can be very persistent, tenacious, have strong powers of perseverance, have strong resiliency, can stick to things to the bitter end. But on the negative side, they can have inordinate willpower as well. But on the negative side, the person may be overly resolute, intractable, perhaps strongly dogmatic, sticking, not willing, perhaps it could be a strong aversion or anathema to change, and which can be to the person's detriment. So those are the things when you have a fixed T-square configuration. Even if you have, say, a mutable ascendant or sun sign or moon, this could be a person that is just overly strongly resolute and not immutable, so to speak, and may not be very easy to change their mind. Now, on that positive side, the unwavering thing could indicate a person that is strongly loyal and steadfast. But sometimes as far as having unwillingness to change, if it's a person's philosophy or viewpoint which may need to bend a little and it can inhibit the person from making certain progress. So anyway, people, I'm going to give you an example on my monitor on my computer and show you something in my chart. I have a fixed T-square, and I'm going to show you kind of through an example how this could impact somebody, because the houses and the planets are taken into consideration, of course, and do flavor this configuration. So just hold on momentarily, people. Okay, people, let's see if we can at least get it to where we can look at the chart where I have this aspect pattern or configuration. Okay, people, the thing that we're going to look at, I have a fixed T-square, and I do count the ascendant is right here, 22 degrees Taurus. I have Venus and Leo in the 4th house, 17 degrees, and I have Neptune and Scorpio in the 7th house. Now, the thing about this is the conflict which I'm talking about as far as my own personal chart is that we have the opposition from the ascendant right here to Neptune. So we look at that, and that could indicate a person that maybe might have trouble as far as fact and fallacy, as far as relationships go. It is in the 7th house. And I may have difficulty maybe understanding the maybe intentions of other people. I might be overly idealistic in relationships, and it may be to my detriment, and it could indicate personality sometimes maybe overly trusting in this particular area, and it might be to my downfall, which I believe it has on many occasions. Now, what the point in this is that you have this energy that's right here, and Taurus obviously can be on the negative side, can be stubborn, can be obstinate. those are some points as well to be taken into this somewhat intractable and very resolute fixed T-square. But when you look at this, this is the point of over-accentuation, over-emphasis, or overcompensation. Venus in Leo in the 4th house. And this could indicate that I'm striving for peace at home. Perhaps that's a way maybe I could forget about maybe the negatives that were associated from this deception, this delusion, connection in relationships due to maybe being overly idealistic regarding them. This could be something where Venus in Leo, Venus in the 4th house often likes tranquility and peace in their home. They strive for a very nice home and very refined and peaceful conditions, which is true about me, I would say. And the fact it's in Leo, it could indicate that perhaps I like to do something connected, maybe with some notoriety and exposure, which is from the home, the attention-getting thing, and which I believe, I guess I do through the YouTube videos that I do. And the reason maybe there's emphasis on this, is perhaps to have a distraction from maybe the difficulties I've experienced in connection with the ascendant opposition Neptune. And I know many people won't think that this is actually a square because Venus is making a very long square to Neptune, because I'm using like an 11.5 degree orb, and some people will use up to 12 degree orb. I consider it a rather long square, so it's not a very strong one, and it's not obviously this is not I would consider a very strong T-square, but it is, I consider it, it could be a T-square, but a very long one, and this is, I'm using this as an example for you. And the thing about it is, if we look right here, often the point opposite this focal point planet that makes the rather exceptionally long square to Neptune and the square to the ascendant, this is the point opposite this focal point planet or energy, which would be like around here, which would be in Aquarius in the 10th house. And maybe that point is said to perhaps help alleviate some difficulties in association with the fixed T-square. And perhaps by me doing something Aquarius-like, being the maverick, doing something connected with Uranus, Aquarius-like things such as an esoteric subject like astrology, and maybe somehow incorporating it into career matters, into the public image, this could be a way for me, perhaps at least as a distraction, to help deal with maybe this problem with this opposition, ascendant and Neptune, and maybe find those people in relationships where I won't succumb to any strong deception or delusion, and find those right quality people by doing these things in the career and related to astrology, in my case. Now, for some people, if they had something like what I have, Aquarius also rules things connected with innovation, computers, electronics, things that are ingenious, and that might apply to perhaps another person. But with me, in my specific case, I believe that's where we see the astrology coming in. So, anyway, people, let me go back over to my spot. I'll be right back with you momentarily. Just hold on a second. Well, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for the fixed T-square configuration in a natal chart. And stay tuned next time, where I'll be dissertating and talking about having a mutable T-square in a natal horoscope. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because a person astrologically is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.